Realist Idealist dichotomy is alternative approaches of decision-makers in forming foreign policy. The realist approach to policy making is fundamentally empirical and pragmatic, whereas the idealist approach is based on abstract, traditional foreign policy principles involving international norms, legal codes, and moral ethical values. The realist school assumes that the key factor prevalent in all international relationships is power. The wise and efficient use of power by a state in pursuit of its national interest is, therefore, the main ingredient of a successful foreign policy. The idealist, on the other hand, believes that foreign policies based on moral principles are more effective because they promote unity and cooperation among states rather than competition and conflict. According to the idealist, moral power is more effective than physical power because it is more durable. In place of force and coercion, it involves winning over the minds and allegiances of people to accept principles that ought to govern state conduct. The realist-idealist dichotomy relates particularly to the debates over the best approach to foreign policy making in the United States. Many realists regard the United States as the leading, if not the only, state in the world misled by popular attitudes and moral self-righteousness into adopting idealistic guidelines to govern the making of foreign policy decisions. The result, according to the realists, is the inability of the United States to compete effectively with other states that base their policies on the hard realities of national self-interest. Idealists tend to reject the power-centered realist approach as a pseudoscientific Machiavellianism likely to produce only minor, short-lived gain for the nation. For the idealists, the most successful policies have been based on principles and moral values, and have won support from millions of peoples of different nations. Examples of successful idealist approaches include the 14 points enunciated by Woodrow Wilson, the Atlantic Charter proclaimed by Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, and the United Nations Charter. In practice, most policies are a mixture of realism and idealism, in which the realist approach specifies the means for achieving goals and the idealist approach justifies and wins support for the policies adopted.